Hi everybody, Lori here from Unique in the Creek, and today I'm going to do a tutorial on how to use two of the new Unique in the Creek rectangle boards, okay? So when you purchase them at uniqueinthecreek.com, you do get two boards, okay? And this is just because I know there's going to be people that are going to order one board, get it, and really wish they had another one because they would, wanted to make something bigger. But it is great for using, smaller ideas with a single one. This tutorial, we are going to use a double one. So we're going to be using two. Now you can join them and make them as long as you want with two. You can even join the two ends here with zip ties together, which makes 26 inches long, which will make your swag or your garland even longer. What's nice about these, if you do make a garland and you need to ship it, you can do each piece and make it individual if you want, and just give some instructions for the customer and give them some zip ties or something for the customer just to maybe zip tie each piece. Because I know some of the garlands are really, really, really long, especially the ones that go around the door and stuff. So this will make it easier for shipping because you can do them separately, ship them separately, and just give them some instructions on how to put the two together, or the four, or the six, however long you're making it. Same with if you do a over the door corner one or over the window, you can decorate the two pieces separately and just zip tie them together. So there's lots that you can do, and I'm sure there is going to be so many ideas flowing. Right now, I'm just going to do the very basics of the two boards, okay? So I am going to make my centerpiece. I'm going to make a centerpiece, a Christmas one, for my table. And then later on, I'm going to make a swag, just using one, for my mirror, because I have a mirror in my dining room, and I'd like to have a small swag hang on my mirror as well that matches the centerpiece I have on my table, okay? So what I'm going to do is I've kind of measured, and I've found that matching, so you got A, B, all the way to J, and A, B, all the way to J. I found matching H to J, and of course H to J, is the perfect size centerpiece for me. So like I said, you can make it even smaller, you can make it bigger, you can make it even bigger using just the ends. So, but I'm going to make it from H to J, and I am going to take two zip ties, and I'm just going to zip. And all the rows, they do match up. So it's like literally kind of like the Measure Buddy, where you can make it as, as big as you want. So I'm going to do, like I said, I matched up J to the bottom board is on H. And then this one is H and the bottom board is J. So I'm just going to do 4 zip ties here. Now, if you count how many rows, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. This right here, for me, row I on the top board, is the center of my my garland here, or centerpiece, whatever you want to call it. I still don't know what to call it yet. Okay, so I'm zipping those together, and I'm just going to clip these off. Ouch. Okay, so our board is ready to go, and it's very sturdy. You'll see that the thickness of it We did this for the sturdiness of it, because who knows what anybody's going to be using for them, but it won't bend or anything. So it's really good quality, of course, like all our boards. Okay, so my design, I'm going to be using zip ties. I use zip ties for everything. I just feel more comfortable with them, especially if you're going to be using the outer holes for any of your projects, like you'll see when I do the swag tonight. You may want to do zip ties, because if you use pipe cleaners, it may spin around if you don't glue the pipe cleaner in place. Or you can use, you know, this hole to this hole, this hole to this hole. However, if you use the outside hole, it makes it bigger. So it depends how big, what your project and how big you want it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a zip tie in row A, just in the center. For this tutorial, I am just using the center holes. So I'm going to go A, then I'm going to put one in D. I don't know where these big long zip ties came from. D, and then G. Okay, this is keeping in mind I've connected them with the row H and J. Oh, I turn this off. I've connected them with H and J. Okay, so A, D, and G, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. A, J, or A, D, and G. Alrighty, so that is what we're starting with. Okay, so I'm going to be using this really pretty mesh. Because this is for me, I'm using one of the more expensive mesh. However, you can use whatever you want, because I am going to be putting quite a bit of stuff on here. Not sure how much of the mesh you can see, but when you do see, if you do see the mesh, it's going to be a really pretty mesh, right? Okay, so I did open the full roll, but before I did cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of this mesh at 22 inches, as I'm going to be making some woodland ruffles with it. So I wanted to make sure that my cuts were nice, and I liked the beginning of the mesh because the beginning of the mesh is a lot flatter and it's not so, curly and wonky. So I did cut 6 pieces at 22 inches of the mesh. Okay, so I'm going to start with first a poof. So we're going to do a poof. We're going to do 3 poofs on the one side and 3 poofs on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to be making the first poof at 18 inches or 8 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mesh and I'm going to fold it back on itself. Okay, like this. So it's the cut edge is on the back. And I'm just going to use my measure buddy, because we want 8 inches. So I'm using my mat, or you can use your measure buddy. And I'm making the very first poof at 8 inches, just like that. And then I'm just gonna scrunch it right up. Okay? So we have the starting of our poof, and you want to make it nice because this is the end of your centerpiece. Okay? Take it where you've pinched it. Make sure all the mesh is in where you pinched it, and just put it right on the board and go around where you pinched it. Okay? Then I'm going to take my measure buddy and put it underneath, and I'm going to pull my mesh out to the 8 inch So the measure buddy closed is exactly 8 inches. And I'm going to push it up, and where I pinched it at 8 inches, zip tie around it. Okay, and this is just giving our centerpiece a little bit of volume, okay? You could just use the woodland ruffle by itself, but like I said, it gives it, when you add a little bit of poof, it gives it a little bit of volume, so it's not so flat, because we want, you know, it is a centerpiece, or you could turn it sideways and make it a swag as well. But this is, for the time being, this is how I'm going to do this with some poofs. Okay, so where we got 3 poofs. Now I'm going to cut my mesh off. As nicely as I can without making it too wonky, cutting it off the roll. So that is the left side. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing on our right side, which is going to be my left right now because I am right-handed. Again, we'll do our, I'm putting the edge of the mesh on my 8-inch mark here, going to the edge of my measuring, my mat. Okay, so that's an 8-inch, and then just scrunch it up, making sure that I do have the back part in. Okay, and then again, put it right onto the board and do your zip tie around it. Now, like you can use pipe cleaners for sure, but I like zip ties. So I would rather layer zip ties than use pipe cleaners that make everything loose. I just feel they make it loose. So pull it out 8 inches. Do your zip tie up. Another 8 inches. And do it up. Okay, and then I'm going to cut the mesh off again. So I did it about, let's see, looks like about 7 inches. So you're not really going to see this part that I'm cutting anyways, because I am going to be putting a piece of styrofoam in the middle, and we'll be using a sign for this design. Okay, so let's cut the zip tie tails off. And we're going to build the wreath from the outside to the inside. Okay. Okay, so I do have some greenery I'm going to put in. So I got my 6 22-inch pieces of mesh already cut. So for this project, I used a half a roll of mesh. Okay, I do need to cut 4 more pieces at 10 inches, but it'll still be roughly around half a roll. Okay, now I do want to put some greenery into my design, and I pulled out my Christmas bins already, and I found some of this greenery. I just bought it at, last year at, just at Michael's. So you can just dig through and see what you have. You don't have to put greenery in at all. You can just use ribbons. I need too much. I'm not going to put too much into the end one. Oh my gosh, look at this mess. Okay, so this I think I'm going to be using for my end piece, just right here. So I'll do the same on the other side. I am going to put a few of these berries that I had in my bin. So there's all kinds of stuff that you can find at the craft stores or even on the online stores. They have a better quality, like Craft Outlet, Deco Exchange, those type of things. Trendy Tree, but so I'm going to do three. So I'm going to cut this down, the stems. Okay. And I'm going to put a zip tie right over top of the zip tie I did put on row A, where we started our poof. So there's a zip tie. I am going to, these are too long. I don't need it too long. I'm going to put this whole piece in because I really like this piece. It's got snow on it. And oh, I didn't even show you guys my ribbons I'm using, but you can use any ribbons or whatever. And like I said, you don't even have to put greenery at all in if you don't want. So I'm just going to set that right on top of my zip tie. This is another thing I got from Michael's. It's really pretty. Like I stock at the end of the season, I stock and get things at 80% off. So we're just using a piece. This seems to have 1, 2, 3 pieces. I'm just using one of these pieces from there. Just open it up. Okay, look at me using greenery. Oh, that's going to be pretty. And that's all I'm putting for the greenery. And then I'm going to put some of these these berries in. I got this pick of berries. It's pretty big, and all I did was pull these pieces right off the branch because they're all wired. And where did I get these? It looks like I got these at Hobby Lobby. Yeah, Hobby Lobby, and they were $3.99. I definitely didn't pay $3.99 for them. But I'm going to put some of these in, just maybe three little stems. Just like that. Wow, this looks pretty just like that. Oh shoot, I forgot to put my ruffle on. So, I'm sorry guys. So first thing we want to do is I'm going to put a woodland ruffle on this zip tie, okay? So what you're going to do is just fold in your edge of your, I think I cut this at 22 inches. Okay, it's heavy there. Just fold this in just a few, and that's just to hide the cut edge. And then we're going to pinch it all the way up. And then when you get to the end, you take that off. Now, when you do a woodland ruffle, you can actually use it like this so you can see the curls up, or you can do it down. Depends if you like that curly look. So I normally put it down, but I'm going to put it up for this. Okay, I'm going to put this right in the center of my zip tie. Just put a little clip because I have to get my stuff ready here. Okay, and I'm going to get my greenery that I just placed together. So you can do that just on your table as well. Put it all together. Just like this, make it pretty. So you guys know I'm way out of my comfort zone, right? So you guys, I'm pushing you guys to get out of your comfort zone too. And I'm going to put this right on top of the mesh. And I'm going to go over top of all that, and no glue. No glue. We zipped all that in. Now, however, if you're a little worried, especially if you're selling it, and you want to make sure all the greenery stays in, you most definitely can add a little bit of hot glue just over top, just right there. Oh, that didn't turn it on. Right there. And it'll be zip tied in and glued in. Now you're not going to see this zip tie, so we won't worry about that yet, because we're going to come back and I'm putting a bow, just a funky bow, over top of this. So the greenery will be in behind. That's my thought. We'll see if it works. So I'm going to do the other side exactly the same. Okay, put your zip tie in. I am going to get my greenery and do exactly the way I did this one. And I like to do it, we'll do it right away so I don't forget. Because we want balance. We want balance. So just spreading these out so you can see each one. This is really pretty, but it's very messy. And we'll cut some of this down. You don't need to leave a very long stem. Okay, we had a piece of this greenery from Michael's. I cut this. Okay. Varies. Alrighty. And, oh, I forgot I was going to use this too. I have this. I've used it already, but because the ribbon I'm going to be using is a bark, looks like, look how pretty that is. It looks like birch ribbon, and then I have these birch sticks, and I am going to pull them apart, and I forgot I wanted to put them into the ends, so I'm just going to slide this one right under. There we go. I'll fix it later. Okay. And then, well, this one I can do in behind here. So I'm doing the longer length. This is 3 pieces. Too long. Okay, there we go. Okay. Sorry guys, I hurt my shoulder, and if you keep hearing me say ow, I can't help it. It hurts. It hurts. Okay, let's put this. Okay, we'll get our woodland ruffle done. Got our little tile there. All right, we got our ruffle. Putting it straight right onto the board here. And then I'll put my pile of goodies right on top of that, and we'll zip tie it all in. So I pretty much, that's what I got, and it's just literally just pieces of different picks. So you don't have to use a ton of greenery because it could get expensive. Very expensive if you start using a lot, you know, lots of greeneries and stuff. Okay, just putting it on top, going around, zipping it up, make sure everything's in there, and pull it tight. Just going to trim some of this off. And I move strength because my shoulder hurts. And there we go. Oh, this is going to be super pretty. Look at Lori doing florals. What? Is the world got on fire? Okay. So now I'm going to take my other piece, one more piece of this long woodland or mesh for our woodland ruffle. Roll it and then scrunch. Okay, pin it. I'm going to put a zip tie again over the current one you already have there, right here, which I believe is row D. Okay. I'm going to put my ruffle there. Now I'm going to figure out what greenery. I don't want a ton of too much greenery sticking out. So I have these little pick things that I broke apart. Again, these are from Michael's. So I'm thinking just 2 pieces of this. And some of the berries again. Ouch. Oh, Lord. Okay, pull some of these off. So I'm just going to use one of these greenery picks and a one. I'm going to crisscross them. There's another one. Probably too long. Okay, just crisscross them. So one sticks out one way and the other sticks out the other way. And then we're going to come around and zip tie that all in. Sure everything's in the zip tie. Now you can glue too. Like, I'm not saying you can't glue, just stick it in the mesh and glue. I just feel more comfortable knowing everything is in there. So when I go to move the stuff around, when I finish this and move it all around and everything, I know it's not going to fall apart. Okay. We are going to put bows on here, so we don't need a lot of stuff. And we're also going to use some snowballs. All right, we're going to do the same to the row D on the other side. That's ready. And then we have 2 of these, like we did on the other side. It's a lot bigger. There we go. And berries. I have all kinds of stuff in here. I wasn't sure what I was going to use. So we got berries for there. Berries on this side. Alrighty, so now I'm going to put the zip tie around. I thought I already did that, but I guess I didn't. Around D. Put the ruffle down there. Greenery, and you want it going this way because that one's going that way, obviously. And then this one's going that way, that way. Alrighty, and then just come around and zip up everything in there. Alrighty, make sure everything's in there. It's all in there. It's good. Again, you can add some glue if it makes you feel more comfortable. I'm just trimming off what's sticking out of the zip tie. Ooh, look how pretty already. That's awesome. Okay. Now we're going to start. We're going to make some bows. Now you're probably thinking, what about the center? Now it depends what you want to put in the center. I'm going to be using a sign, an oval sign. I just want to trim this back a bit, so. You can add, I was going to use a snowman and stuff like that, but I thought a lot of people liked when I used the oval sign in the center. So I'm going to show you guys how I did that, okay? But first we're going to make 4 bows. Now I've already done 2, but I'm going to show you how I did them. And you can do your bows however you want. Let me just clean up all this craziness from all these greenery things. Put my tools back. Get my, close your ears. What a mess. Actually, you know what? I am going to cut 10-inch pieces. I am going to cut 4 10-inch pieces because I need some ruffles going out this way and out this way for the center, because I'm using a sign that goes straight up. Just trim this off. So I'm going to do, I guess, 10-inch, even 12-inch, maybe 12-inch. can do it whatever size you want. You got lots of mesh left over. So you will have enough mesh left over from this project to make a matching swag, which is what I'm doing tonight. Oh, I need 4. So what I'm going to do with this is where we put the zip ties to zip tie the boards together, I'm just adding a kerfuffle there. Okay, so I'm just going to fold this in just like that so we don't see any of the edges, and scrunch it up in the middle, put the seam downwards, and put it on the board. And put your zip tie around. Okay, do that again, and then we'll do it the same on the other side. So again, just where the zip tie is that connected the boards. I still have to put a woodland ruffle right in the center, but I'm putting these on first. It's a little bit easier. You should still have, I have a 1/4 of a roll, you should still have enough. Now, as you can see, it's getting pretty full. You can, like I said, I cut my woodland ruffles at 20 inches. If you want to save on mesh, you can cut them down at, I cut mine at 22 inches. You can cut them down at 20 inches, no problem. Nobody will know the difference. And just take it easy and do it step by step. We're just building this as we go. The next step is going to be making our bows. Okay, cut those off. So that's going to be, I'm going to put our, glue our foam right there. Okay, but first I want to put, now that I'm ready to almost do my bows, I'm going to put my last woodland ruffle right here where we did our third one, and I think that's row G. And for this one, I'm only going to be using one piece of this. That's all I'm going to add. So I need one. So just go over top of your, and then just put your greenery right in, just like that. Back. All right, the last one on the other side. And then we're going to make our bows, and we will be, well, almost done. I just have to glue the styrofoam onto the board, but that's quick. top of where we did already. Put your ruffle down, and then your piece of greenery just on top of your ruffle. And go around. Cut this back to just a little past the zip tie, because if you leave your stems too long, your ruffle won't ruffle properly. Your ruffle won't ruffle properly. That doesn't make sense, does it? Alrighty. Okay, bow time. We're gonna make a simple, funky bow with some gorgeous ribbons I chose from our store. So all these ribbons I'm using are from uniqueinthecreek.com, but you can use any kind of ribbons, like depending what you're looking for. So this is the sign I chose to put in the middle of my centerpiece. So I'm going to be using this beautiful birch bark ribbon that I showed you guys already. And the SKU is RGA 15661R. It is a 1.5. It's stunning. Like, it's super glittery. I'm also going to be using this black, red, and silver 1.5 inch. And it is RGE 1293. It's a 1.5. I am also going to be using this 2.5. And this is really pretty. It too is black, silver, and white and red, but it has snowflakes on it. And it is RGE 1353. And then, just so it's got some a little bit of pop of color, we got this amazing 7/8 inch ribbon in. It's a 25-yard roll, and it's amazing. The wire in it is so nice. Like, you can make the loopiest bows, and right now I think we only have it in maybe 4 or 5 colors, because I'm waiting for the rest of the colors to come in. But I'm just going to add a little bit of this emerald green into my bow, because like emerald green this year is a really popular color for Christmas. A lot of people are going traditional. So those are the 4 ribbons I'm going to be using. And I'm going to be making just like a funky bow, very simple bow. I've already made 2, so I need to make 2 more. And this is what it's going to look like, okay? It'll obviously look much better once I put it onto our thing, but this is what we're going for. So let's get our bow maker out. It's back in here. Okay, I started with the 2.5 inch. Now this birch bark, it also comes in 2.5 inch as well, which I may use on the swag tonight. So all these ribbons I'll be using on the single swag that's going to go on my mirror. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my first tail 7 inches. So get the end of your ribbon, put it on the 7 inch, and we're going to pinch where the pegs are and give it a twist and put it down. I'll zoom in for this. Okay, so now your raw side is up, or your bad side is up, because when we flip it over, you're going to see the good side. We're going to make a 6. Put your ribbon going down. As you're putting it down, give it just a half a twist, and we're going to just pull till we have the 6 inch, till it hits the 6 inch mark. Okay, so we're going to do each loop at 6 inches. Okay, so again, go down. Now I'm only doing 1 loop on each side with each of these ribbons, because we're making 4 bows, you don't need to make a huge, crazy bow. Okay, so we're going to cut that at the 7. So the last piece I did not have to twist because we want this tail the good side up. Okay, and then we'll make our X. So there's tail, tail, loop, loop. Alrighty, and then the next color I'm going to come in with is this green. I know it's a little bit odd, but I just want this little bit of pop of color in there. So I'm doing it on the second, well, this is, I would call the first tier of my bow. Just go down. I'm going to make it 7 inches as well. Now this, it doesn't have a good side or a bad side, so you don't have to twist it. So just put it in, get your tail to about 7 inches, come around, get your loop. Your loop's going to be about 6 inches. Do it on the other side, 6 inches. And then cut it, the tail. So that, I'm just doing single loops. And this ribbon is awesome. I really, really love this ribbon. I can't wait till all the colors come in. The burgundy, oh my gosh, the burgundy is beautiful. All right, so now I'm gonna come in with this gorge. And this is thick ribbon, so you don't wanna make a huge bow. And it's a little bit pricey, but you get what you pay for because it is fabulous. The glitter doesn't even come off. It's very well wired, but it's thick. So to make a whole bow with this stuff, it would be a little bit tricky because it's going to get really thick in the middle. So, but you don't, we just want to use just a little bit. So again, 6-inch loops, half twist. Inch. Now the last, you don't have to twist for the last one. All right, and then we got one more ribbon we're going to be using. And that is this really pretty, it's called Hex Glitter. It's got different size pieces of glitter on it, which makes it really sparkly, and it doesn't really fall off. Most of the glitter that's on my table is from the greenery, but this is gorgeous. It matches this one kinda. We have all different kinds of this in because I fell in love with it at the wholesalers. So I bought all different colors. So we're gonna put again, 7-inch, 6-inch loop. After the last loop, you don't have to twist. Just cut your tail. So there is one ribbon, or one bow, I mean. So I'm going to take it off. I use a zip tie and I use a pipe cleaner. Just take it straight off your bow maker, keeping everything nice and stacked. I go around with a zip tie. You can just use the actual pipe cleaner to go around with it. Again, I like to have my bow nice and tight in the center. So I swing this to the back and I put a pipe cleaner underneath the bow and then do that up tight. Okay, there's one, so we need to make one more, so I'm going to be doing it again. Six-inch, half a twist, pull it down till your loop is at the 6-inch. We don't have to do a twist because we're going to have the tail facing upwards. Make our X. We have lots of ribbon because we're going to make a swag too, so we have lots of ribbon. Then I came in with the green again. That's lovely green. So as you can see, I'm kind of building my bow as I go. Then I'm going to come in with this birch. And with these, you can add as many ribbon color or ribbon styles and colors as you want. And then again, our last one. So we're not doing tails or anything like that, although I could probably put some tails on there. But I think the 4 bows are going to be just enough that it doesn't look too busy. Alrighty. So we have lots of ribbon left for our swag. I'm going to put on my mirror. I'm going to take my zip tie and again a pipe cleaner. Go around the center. Alrighty, we are ready to rock and roll. We've got 4 bows ready to go here. Okay, we're going to take our project and the pipe cleaner is going again right over top of the layered zip tie we did on row A. I'm just going to go down the 2 holes with my pipe cleaner, one on either side. It's easier when you kind of pull it off the table. So your pipe cleaner hits the table. Oh, wrong side. This is kind of hard to do when you have a sore shoulder. All right, there's one. Pull it down till you got some resistance and give it a twist in the back. Okay, we're going to do the next one in the center here. Yes, the center one. So row G. So row D doesn't get anything. It doesn't get a bow, but it's got some greenery there. Give it a twist. There's one side, and we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Give it a twist. Okay, now the fun part. I guess I could have did my tails, dovetail them while they were in on the table, but you're gonna go around and dovetail your bow ends. This one has the green. Okay, let's tidy this up a bit. Fix our loops, and then we're going to use some glue to put our styrofoam in, and then I've got some little ornaments that I'm going to put in. So this is the bottom. Okay, what I'm going to do is we're snipping all this, and it's going back down the hole. I could have probably zip tied my bows in as well, so use a double zip tie, one to go around the bow, one to attach to the board. But when you do it like that, you do need like an 8-inch zip tie. So, but the pipe cleaners makes nice, like a nice little bumper for the table. I do want to do a big landscaped one where I have a small board in the middle and it's done the same, and that so the small board and then one of each rectangle attached to the center of the small board. So the small board will have like a hurricane thing with the ribbons and mesh, and then it'll go to the sides. I think it'll look beautiful. I'm also going to do a corner ones using this exact same mesh and ribbons and everything to go around my French doors. Okay, so that is the back. That's all we have to do for the back. Okay, still nice and neat, still one piece, which is nice when you have to take it off the table. Okay. And now it's the whole bow fluffing thing. So you're going to pull your ribbons all around, open up your loops. Get these tails. We're just going to arc them so they're just going over top of your greenery. So you still see the greenery coming out. That little pop of green. All right. And there's no rhyme or reason when you're doing your loops. You just kind of want to pull. so it looks good on all sides. Oh, that's pretty. There's one. Do the same. I'll do it quickly. Ornaments. I'm going to, where are they? 1, 2. And these signs. Now I do have silver ones that would have matched really pretty too. But I have these snowball ones I got from Dollarama, $1.50. I'm just going to set them. This one's better. We're going to just glue those in. However, I could have zip tied them in as well. I'm not going to do it yet. I just want to see how it looks. So I think I would have. For my centerpiece, I forgot to bring home 2 of these because I wanted to do it so they're both on the same side, but that's okay. I got, this one matches, so whatever side you're sitting on the table, it depends what side you're gonna see. And then this is a round green hard foam that you can get at the dollar store. I cut it in half and used it for the other swag I made. You can use a lot of things. If you want to make do a centerpiece with signs like I'm doing, all we have to do is you're going to take your foam piece, cut in half, okay? And what I did is I took it and made a slit with my sign. I'm just kind of, yeah, that's, okay. So I probably should have did this beforehand, but let's see. Is our glue gun ready to go? Oh, we got gluage. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this half. Just right in the center. Okay, just hold it down. That's pretty good. This whole thing, actually, this is not really heavy. Okay. Then I'm going to take my sign. Now you can glue your signs together if you're going to do a double-sided thing. I'm just going to stick it in. So what you're going to do is put glue where the slit is on your foam. And then slide this right into the slit and hold on for a sec. So we got a snowman on one side and warmest wishes on the other. Now you can move your mesh and your ribbons around so you don't even see the foam. Although if I was smart, I would have, yeah, I'm smart. I'm just going to grab a few of this little bit of greenery. I have extra little pieces, and I'm just going to stick them right into that foam. So cut it down, and put a little bit of glue, just like that, and shove it into the foam. angling it. That takes care of that piece. See, look, now you can't see nothing. And we'll do the same on this side. Now, obviously, if you have a candle would look really nice in here. There's all kinds of stuff that you could use. So you just need a little piece. This is just a little extra that fell off. Just put a little bit of glue and shove it right in, angling right into the, there we go. All right. These are just foam with, I don't know, somebody had to sit and put the glitter things on, but I'm just going to put a little bit of glue and kind of angle them. One going outwards. This one going outwards. You can zip tie them in or pipe cleaner them in as well. But they're very lightweight, so. Right, done this big old centerpiece. Did you see how easy that was? And of course, I'll fix my branches coming off. Now, I don't know if I can't even really zoom up much more. This is, I don't even know how long it is. It's longer than my, so you're looking at about 36 inches. And that is not even the full extent to the two boards, right? Actually, it's kind of cute with two signs on either side. So let me tip it up. So there is the snowman one. Now, right now, I'm going to tell you guys that the ovals are just off the website for today and tomorrow. Because we ran out of the blanks. you guys ordered a lot of ovals, so they will be here on Friday. So as soon as we get them back in stock, and I ordered lots, we will post them. All right, so we got the snowman on one side, and the other side has warm winter wishes. Isn't that cool? And that's it. I could put a little bit, I think I'll put a little bit more glue. Actually, they're pretty good. So just wherever this little ornament makes contact, I'm going to put another dab of glue. Look, with my apron, I know exactly where my glue sticks are. There we go. That's it. One gorgeous centerpiece with a double-sided. Warm wishes, winter blessings. We'll fix this branch. And that is it. Half a roll, no, quarter of a roll, 3/4 of a roll of mesh. I did use a lot of mesh in it. We used maybe 1/4 of a roll of the ribbon, and we just did all these loops. You could put ribbon tails coming outwards. I just find that might be a little too much because I like just the bows here. So that's a preference, and it's up to you. We used a little bit of greenery that we cut up, some Christmas greenery, and the 4 different ribbons. 2, 3, 4. We have a ton left. There we go. That was easy. Very easy. So just follow step by step. Take your time. And you can make one too. You can make it even larger if you want. So get your boards. There are the rectangle board. I cannot wait to see what you guys start making with these.